Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast but didn't know where to start? Well, Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor is your one-stop shop for podcasting. They have tools that you can edit, add music, all right from your phone or your computer. They'll even distribute your podcast so that it can be heard everywhere like Spotify, Apple, and even on Google. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Good morning, everybody. This is morning coffee.
It's time to pour it, stir it up, and serve it up. This is the Morning Coffee Podcast Show, your unofficial wake-up call. Here to help you live your best life and revolutionize your relationships, faith, inspiration, and love. Start your day the right way with Morning Coffee. Here's your host, Tanisha R. Atkins.
Good morning, everybody. You are tuned in to the Morning Coffee Live Show. Morning Coffee is your unofficial wake-up call on a mission to provoke you to change and spiritual growth so that you can live your best life and revolutionize your relationships. Well, guess what? This is the last week of the season. We're in season 4, and all season long we've been talking about we're all in this together. And so we've had an amazing season. We have talked about everything pertaining to getting along with your family, getting along with your teammates, getting along with your church organization, or anywhere where you're a team. So I've done my best to try to get you to see the bigger picture in those things. And so now that we're at that point where it's time for us to close out season 4. So this is our last week. So just want to wrap up and kind of recap some of the things that we've talked about over the season. So today I want to talk to you actually about nobody wins when the family feuds. And this is not limited to just your family members. Because, when you work with people, that's your work family. When you go to church with people, that's your church family. Or if you're a part of an organization, then that's, you get so close with people that they become like family to you. And so nobody wins, though, when that unit is fighting each other. The Bible says that a house divided against itself, it cannot stand. And so we have to get to that point where we stop letting the enemy conquer and divide us. We have to get the division out. And sometimes to do that, you have to be the one to not responsible for getting the division out, but you have to take responsibility for not letting the division continue to grow through you. You have to make sure that you're not pouring gasoline on the fire and that you're actually the one that's trying to do your part in putting the fire out. And maybe that part for you looks like not repeating things that you heard, not spreading gossip throughout the family or the group, or not talking behind people's back, or making sure you do your part, maybe making sure that all the things that we've talked about this season, making sure that you keep your commitment, making sure that you say I'm sorry when you've done something, making sure that you're living the lifestyle in front of them, especially your children, and not just shouting commands, making sure that you recognize who is the chief and who is the Indian. And that's the thing, most of the time when people are feuding, it's always somebody somewhere trying to be right, want to be heard, want to be accepted, want their ideas to be listened to, want to feel loved. And so it's a good idea that when it's like that, when you see a bunch of chaos, maybe you can step up to the plate and say, hey, call a family meeting or call a team meeting and say, listen, we've been fighting and this is no way for us to win. We can't win like this. You cannot win if you're not standing together as one. And that's been the whole purpose of this season. We're all in this together. We have to be in it together. And again, that doesn't mean that everybody has to have the same opinion about it, but everybody has to respect people's opinions about it. And prime example, right now, we just got through with a presidential election, and we all know that President Joe Biden won, and it is just so much chaos going on social media that people are attacking each other because they feel like this party should have won. This one feels like that party should have won. And it's just turning so ugly that, I've just made the decision I'm going to have to stay off of social media for a little bit, because I don't like to see the bickering. At the end of the day, the American people chose, everybody voted. And it is what it is. You don't have to like it, but us as Christians, the Bible says to pray for those that's in authority, to pray for the president. So whether your party got elected or not, your job is not to throw stones at the people that didn't vote for who you feel like they should vote for. And people are just taking it so personal that it's just getting ridiculous. And all it's doing is just tearing people apart. And, like the Bible says, where there's confusion, there's every evil work. And so we're going to be in this together. We have to learn to respect each other's differences and to stop trying to fix people. That's not your job. Now, sometimes when you care about a person, you see them doing something destructive, of course, say something. But don't just try to tweak people so they can be just like you, And I like to be very transparent with y'all, and that's something that I have been very guilty of. I have to watch myself sometimes with my mom, because she's so outspoken, and sometimes she just says things and she don't think about it a lot. She doesn't have a filter. And so with me, I try to be very filtered in the things that I say. But, at one point I was kind of trying to control her, like, you shouldn't say this and you shouldn't say that because people are going to think, this, that. And she was just like, she doesn't live her life like that, she's unfiltered, and I had to learn to respect and accept that about her, that this is just who she is. And I don't have a right to go in there and try to tweak her because I'm filtered when I talk. I have to say, hey, that's how she is. People love her for that. They come to laugh about that a lot of times with her, because I really think she inherited that from my grandmother. But anyway, just making sure that you are respecting each other. I can't say that enough, because at the end of the day, nobody wins when the family feuds. Because at the end of the day, nobody wins when the family feuds. Nobody. And you need to really think about that before you make big deals out of stuff and, stir the pot and keep the confusion going. Nobody is winning the situation. And even you may think, well, I'm not in it. I'm not being messy or whatever. You're still a part of the organization. And nobody's going to win, So anyway, just be prayerful about it, how to handle it, and making sure that you do your part and keeping your mouth shut. And one thing that us as Christians have to get in the habit of is praying about things and not worrying so much. It's only so much we can do. You can speak your piece and talk to you blue in the face to people, but people are always going to do whatever they want to do. So just pray about it, put it in God's hands, and make sure that you're doing your part. Ask God, is there anything that you can do to bring everybody together? And then from that, just do your part. Well, that's all I got for you today. Remember, this is our last week, and I'll be wrapping it up. And I want to say, good morning again to my grandfather, as always. He's listening, so y'all be sure to keep him in your prayers. Also, I'm not going to put all his business out there, but just keep him in your prayers and just, pray for good health for him and everything, and just send him some encouragement and let him know that we're praying for him, because we're all his morning coffee family. He listens every single morning. He is I'll tell y'all this all the time, probably my only family member that really kind of listens to Morning Coffee. So I definitely want you all to just join me and just, keep him in your prayers and praying that he's staying uplifted and that he has just total health. All right. Well, be sure to connect with us on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we're on YouTube at Morning Coffee Live Show. And be sure to leave us some feedback. If you want us to pray for you, drop me a message, drop me an inbox or a DM on any one of those social sites, and we will be sure to get an agreement with you for prayer. So we'll be back tomorrow as we wrap up our last week, and I'm going to miss you guys as we go out for the holidays. And of course, we'll be back very soon, 2021, and it's only like a month or so, a month or two away, so we won't be gone that long. But anyway, I'm going to let y'all go. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Every day I wake up with purpose, starting my day with faith and inspiration. Wouldn't have it no other way. Live, laugh, love. Let's make the world better. Give somebody a hug. Let's bring the world back together. With morning coffee, let's have morning coffee. Morning coffee. Start your day with faith, inspiration, and love. Start your day with faith, inspiration,